When you ask the Chattanooga Police Department what our mission is every day, is to keep you, your family, and our community safe. The three pillars of the Chattanooga Police Department, with the first one being problem-solving policing, so we work collaboratively with our community to figure out what they want us to help them with. Leveraging technology and data-driven approach, so we have an evidence understanding of why we're doing what we're doing with what we're doing it with. And then a focused deterrence application, so we make sure that we pay particular attention to those individuals that are driving crime, that are driving violence, so it's not a saturation approach. While Chattanooga does have traditional components to itself, we also pride ourselves on the non-traditional components that we have, to pay attention to what's that next level, what's the next thing that we should be developing in our organization to provide some protection and security for our community.
The development of the RealTime Intelligence Center was a project from our former Chief Fred Fletcher and our current mayor. And it was a way that we could mesh today's technology and data along with community-oriented policing. Essentially, it is the three pillars all in one location. Officers have the ability, the officers that work in here have the ability to quickly access information, data, as well as our public safety camera systems in support of the officers on the street who are doing community policing. Being data-driven relative to crime, and whether it's prevention and or just allocating resources, is instrumental. We now have the ability to look at data, analyze that data, because information as it comes in is very raw. We were able to expand our crime analysis unit, so therefore they can give us a much better idea of what's going on in our neighborhoods. And using that data to assign resources, whereas you may have thought things were going on over here and you needed it simply because you were getting a higher call volume. Higher call volume doesn't necessarily equal a high crime rate.
NIBIN is an essential resource for the Chattanooga Police Department because it narrows down the scope of offenders that we really have to focus on. We're able to determine, based upon the forensic technology that's out there with these casings that we find, that we're able to focus in on those small amount of violent perpetrators that are causing a vast amount of the violence within the city. We're able to put shell casing to shell casing, matching scene to scene, as well as firearms to the scenes and people to the firearms. So it narrows down the scope of what we really have to focus on. The gun team was created after we determined that we needed a standalone unit to investigate the NIBIN leads that were coming in. Pushing this stuff out to various department members just wasn't going to be feasible. So a standalone unit was created to actually go in and dedicate time, manpower, and resources to the NIBIN leads, gun collection, and other things that are related to NIBIN, and actually make quality cases, as well as assist other agencies and units throughout the Chattanooga area. The relationship that we have with our federal partners has been phenomenal. We're able to assist them, they're able to assist us in making cases that normally wouldn't go federal or would stay at a state level and take that to the next level. The real way to get violent perpetrators off the street is definitely to get them in the federal system where the time is real. So maintaining a wonderful relationship with them has been paramount here the last several months.
Our Victim Services Unit was developed in 2016, and it was developed in response to the needs of our community members, victims of crimes. It provides resources to our victims, our survivors, and their family members to address their emotional needs and to support them throughout the whole criminal justice process. For an officer to provide the community with the best services, we also have to take care of ourselves within the police department. So we also are exposed to trauma, whether it's indirect or directly. So in order to assist officers, we've developed our peer support program, and it provides resources to officers, and it's kind of the same for our victims. One of the major critical incidences that we had here in Chattanooga was the Woodmore bus crash, where we lost several children. Plus we had numerous other victims that were injured in that. So Victim Services Unit played a huge role in making sure that they followed up with those families and making sure that they had the support that they need, especially emotionally.
We have the school liaison program. And what that is, we assign an officer that works in the districts where the schools are to make it their business to visit those schools on a regular basis, to be the point of contact between that school and the Chattanooga Police Department. And so when there's a problem that arises within the school system or within that particular school, they have a face and a name and a person to reach out to and let them know what their problem is. Each individual neighborhood has different expectations from us, and we want to meet those expectations. So Neighborhood Partners is a really good program. In each area of Chattanooga, there, just like everywhere else, there's a certain group of people that have come to the forefront in their community. We introduce our cadets to those particular neighbors, and we get that neighbor to give them a bird's eye view of what they expect from the police department. Our cadets come from pretty much a middle class background for the most part. A large segment of our community, they're not from the middle class. And so the poverty simulator gives our cadets a chance to understand and be able to relate to the life situations that some of our community members are living through.
Fortunately, tonight is National Night Out. Throughout the entire city, you will have neighborhood groups, community groups that are going to come together in a casual setting. And you're going to have officers engaging and interacting throughout the city in all of these small pockets of the community in just a very relaxed setting. As police officers, we have to get out of the car, more or less. And to be able to do that, standing in the community, standing in parks, standing in yards, is the absolute best setting to start those conversations.